It's
Feels good.
it's been a little minute. August. Man, I was having fun with the family, man. Had to take a trip down to Florida, go to Disney World. That was fun.
hmm
You ever
Okay.
been?
I have, sir. It's an experience.
Experience ain't the word. I was averaging 20,000 steps a day at Disney. If you go to Disney,
Yes,
you got to bring your comfortable
it will
shoes.
get you in shape. Trust
Man,
me.
I thought I was going to come back 5 pounds overweight. Like I came back the same weight just from walking in that sun.
Yeah.
What was your favorite ride there? You did any of the rides?
Um, I think when I went in that Avatar,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you went in that one, but and it kind of they make you walk through it, the park,
Yeah.
the experience. Like it's a real experience. You know what I mean? It is that I think that was my favorite one.
I just forgot the name of it. But you were it's a ride where you're sitting on bikes
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a roller coaster, but you're on like this fast ass motorcycle
Mm-hmm.
and that shit spins around. I
Yeah.
forgot the name of that one. But boy, that man, and I don't do that was the first time that I jumped on any type of roller coaster. So
Mm-hmm.
conquer my fear of heights, of the drops of the ride. I say, yo, man, I'm probably not gonna be back at Disney for like 4 or 5 years. I gotta experience it all, man.
Yeah.
Food, amazing, man. They had this Polynesian restaurant that was awesome. My wife spotted a dessert restaurant called the Cookie Bar. We walked to that joint. Best chocolate chip cookies that I ever had. But back to your point where you said it was an experience,
Yeah. Facts.
10 out of 10. Like that repairs some childhood trauma, man. I wish I'd have went when I was a child. If you haven't went to Disney, you have the funds for you to go with your family or by yourself or with a small group of people. I definitely recommend it, man. 10 out of 10 of experience.
Right.
But
Right.
getting into the podcast, as you guys know, we like to curate hip hop, talk a little sports, even get into the political stuff. So we got some hip hop we want to talk about. Ghostface recently dropped Supreme Clientele
Mm-hmm.
through Mass Appeal, as we talked about a couple months back. Man, our legacy acts, the upperclassmen within hip hop, the over 40 crowd of rappers, they not slowing down right now. And I hope that this sends an all-out message to the younger artists getting into the game or who's already in the game. Like this is the bar that they set.
Right.
This is the bar that they set, and you guys need to meet it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get into that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I got home today, got a nice little package. And as I said, like to curate hip hop, keep people informed about underground artists because we're really big on underground hip hop and music. So a nice little box for the Press Collective.
Mm-hmm.
So salute to the Press Collective. They do a lot of collaborations with independent underground artists to put out physical media. And y'all know we big on that because I've been talking about that coming up close to a year. Not just on the podcast, but actually talking to the artists. So
Mm-hmm.
they sent me a little package. Shout out to Shotty. He just released another album independently called Goat Farm 2, courtesy the Press Collective, where you can get the physical merchandise, which I
Okay.
think is important because we old heads, and this is how we
Yeah.
consume hip hop.
Facts.
CD.
Super
I got a
facts.
CD player at home,
Mm-hmm.
as I told y'all a lot. I got the cassette player at home,
Yeah.
but just overall,
Uh,
the experience, you see, the experience, the dope play on the art with the Jordan, the way they flipped the Jordan symbol and integrated the GOAT into it.
mm-hmm.
You know, this is dope artwork. Like I talked about the renaissance within underground hip hop. And shout out to the Press Collective and other boutique online labels that are collaborating with artists because of them. You're able to get back into that feel. I like buying stuff and keeping it as a collector's item as we used to when we consume hip hop.
Right.
If you're not familiar with Shotty, I interviewed him. Shotty 305, he's a dope artist from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He did a collaboration album, and My Aliens. He got a dope song out with Graph that he recently released.
Okay.
He just hooked up with Queens and did a dope drop with Graph. I want to say this song is Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
and they both was spitting it on.
Mm-hmm.
They both was spitting on that record. So seeing underground artists move in that manner in this climate
Mm-hmm.
is dope, because we're going to talk about later the Hot 97 debacle, how they're not really promoting artists.
Right.
So again, back to seeing underground artists moving in that manner, hitting out physical media, taking their destination in their own hand. I definitely salute them. Salute the Shoddy 305. I got the album. I'm going to be diving into it. Salute to the Press Collective for all the dope collaboration work that they do. And that's just the prelude to us getting into our hip hop discussions.
Correct.
Before we get into it, I haven't asked you in a while. You used to always tell me about artists that you was listening to. Like you put me on the Saigon.
Right, right.
So right now, who is Azar listening to?
We're gonna talk about him later, but Ghostface, definitely Nas. You just talking about any comedian?
Just in general.
Okay, just in general. Ghostface, Nas. If you're talking about stuff like listening to back in the day, I want to say old Memphis Bleak. Just if I'm pumping like stuff I'm listening to now, it's definitely Ghostface, Nas, old Memphis Bleak, old T.I., what else, man? Jadakiss, is of course, because he always somehow he finds his way into my system. You know what I'm saying? To my playlist. When I'm sitting working on projects or whatever I'm typing and stuff like that. On the hip hop side, definitely Busta Rhymes. And just from start to finish, old and new. I think his projects, his latest projects, they have been like, from what I've heard, at least 4.5 mics. Right, they're like 1.5 away from classic, and I could tell you now. Long story short, like he's consistent. He's consistent. If anything, especially if you're working out, if whatever you're doing, you can put on a Busta Rhymes album. It will motivate you to get your behind up and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the most recent. I felt he tried to conform to today's sound a little bit.
Right.
I felt like he tried. Not saying that they weren't good albums.
Okay.
Shout out to our producer. As I told somebody, our producer Ty, he's the reason why we get the quality that we get in this podcast. So he can walk through the podcast 20 times because he's going to get us correct.
You guys stay beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's the reason why when people say, we done had a couple people say, yo, man, you know, the stuff that you're talking about is dope, but just the quality of the podcast, that's all. You see the logo behind Pod Force. Everything that he's doing within the studio. So shout out to Ty. He's the reason that we even got this. But back to Busta Rhymes. I felt like he tried to conform a little bit within those last 2 albums. They were good albums. But I appreciate what he did, what he gave us in 2019. Was it 2019 or 20? That album.
20. Yeah, with COVID.
Oh my goodness. The album he dropped.
ELE2.
Oh my goodness. Now that was the
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes that I was expecting.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
You know, he had a dope joint with one of the Marleys and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
my God. Yeah, but that's what I'm kind of listening to now. You know, definitely Nas, like I said. Busta, old Memphis Bleak. Swizz Beatz too. I listen to a lot of his stuff.
that's
You
dope.
know what I'm saying? That's what's really pumping through my airways. Now, if we talking about like radio wise, you always know because you in the car with me.
Yeah, satellite radio.
Yeah. Like I want to say, oh man, there was a DJ today that was on. I completely forgot his name, and he was on like around like 5 o'clock. I was on my way to my son's football practice. But if you're talking about DJs, DJ Scratch, DJ Who Kid, oh my God, I think DJ not AI, but Scratch is the one that I listen to. DJ Superstar J, DJ Scram Jones. Those are the DJs I'm listening to. Like I look forward to
Superstar J. Sorry to Audible.
No, go ahead.
I'm speaking straight into the camera. Underground hip hop needs you.
Yeah, yeah, you're back.
DJ Superstar J.
Yeah.
He's responsible for L'Oreal.
Really?
Well, I don't want to say responsible.
Right.
So let me take that back. He did a mixtape with L'Oreal.
Right.
Some of her greatest work came from Superstar J mixtape.
I wish she never stopped
I
rapping.
wish she never stopped rapping. Y'all probably know her from being like a Love and Hip Hop or like a podcast host or a radio host now. But L'Oreal, my God, was a hell of an MC. There was an artist in Brooklyn that I won't forget, and I think she stopped rapping. I just haven't seen her or heard from her in a while. An artist by the name of Nina B.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her.
He did a couple mixtapes for her. The amount, and those are just offhand, like Superstar J is known for some dope mixtapes. The reason why I just interjected real quick wasn't to cut you off, so forgive me for that. But the work that Superstar J and DJ Thorough and those guys did back in 2008, 9, 10, 11, underappreciated, man. Because if they were doing that work now with artists, now with underground artists, it'd be a different ball game.
Right.
So I'm not trying to call you out, Superstar J. I know you comfortable where you at.
Right.
Maybe you tired of the mixtape game, but if you ever get that itch, there's a lot of dope underground talent that could use a Superstar J mixtape, man. So maybe you might come out of retirement.
Right.
Maybe you might lace it up one more time, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I them and DJ Scratch. That's my DJ, like the top DJ. He's like you know me, like I love doo-wop. That's my favorite DJ. But that's the DJ. Like he could drop me anything doo-wop and I would buy it. Same thing with Scratch. If I know Scratch is behind it, I'll get involved with it. He also has a new thing on Spotify. I remember he talked about it on his radio show, like the he like did an instrumental of beats, and I'm pretty sure he said Spotify.
A beat album?
Yeah. So he said artists can go on there. It's just beats that he's done.
Innovative.
That he just leaked out that never has came out on albums or anything. And he said, yo, go there and you can just listen to the beats and, you know, MCs can rhyme on it. He said he just did it for the love. He ain't do it for nothing else. You know what I mean? So.
And that's dope because we're in an era right now where we're seeing a lot of collaborations with one producer and one artist.
Yeah.
And people forget DJ Scratch ain't just a DJ. He's a hell of a producer.
Right.
Go look up DJ Scratch production credits. Got a lot of joints with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
A lot of work out there. What EPMD too from back in the day.
EPMD, Busta Rhymes, Flip Mode Squad, 50 Cent. He's been all over, and that's
his
just
catalog is longer than a CVS receipt.
Correct.
So that's what we like to discuss. We're gonna discuss some BS. We know y'all want the BS.
Yeah.
You know, there's been some people talking, a lot of conversation over phones, but for the sake of this podcast, we like to curate hip hop. So we're gonna give you, you know, who we're listening to. Like I said, going back to the Press Collective releasing some dope albums with underground artists. Shout out to Shotty 305 from Miami. Also too, because I gotta show New York love. Shay Noir, probably heard of her.
Yes.
With 38 Special. She does a lot of work with 38 Special, but she just recently released another album. The Power of Independence. If you listen to our podcast or any interview I've done in the last year, a common theme is the power of independence with these underground artists. Now, they might not have the $500,000 marketing budget from a Def Jam. So you might say, who is Shay Noir? But if you're really into hip hop, you know who Shay Noir is. She recently dropped the album August 29th, No Validation. I want to shout that out. Hell of a project. She got singles on there with 38 Special called Smooth Jazz. She got a song on there with Sky Zoo, Smoke Dizza, artists that people claim they like. So if you're in tune, be all the way in tune. You can go on her social media site. She has links to the vinyls. Pre-orders are for sale. Really? Again, they're selling physical albums. Shout out to the underground artists like Shay Noir, who's also in that hip-hop renaissance that we're seeing right now. She hasn't been letting up. Looking at MCs, and I don't want to pair her in a box of a female MC because she spits with the best of them. She spits with the best of them. Very consistent. Consistent as hell, dropping music, singles, videos, and albums.
Right.
That's how artists should be moving from the 2020s up on. There's no way you could be in this game right now with radio stations saying they can't do nothing for you as a up and coming artist, i.e. Hot 97,
Sad.
but whatever. And you not giving your fan base, whether it's 200 fans, whether it's 50 fans, what they want, which is dope music. Hey, Young Thug, you gonna drop some music for your fans, or you gonna keep talking about Glorilla and Mariah the Scientist over wired phones? But again, we'll get into that later. Right. You know, I thought hip hop was supposed to be about rap and art and taking the art to the next level. Not speaking over, you know, wired gel phones. But who am I? You know, I don't know. You know,
oh man,
that's how we starting this out, man. Want to jump into just a little bit? We talk about, you know, Supreme Clientele too. You really can we go over Supreme Clientele 1? Because that came out a while ago.
Yeah. With Apollo Kids and all that. Yes.
We talked about Ghostface a lot on this podcast. You gave him props to the 5 Mic album he got with Raekwon.
Correct.
You know, Purple Tape. All the work he's done, being innovative, and just to see him still healthy. I have to throw this in for artists, you know, of that age caliber, still healthy. His pen's still healthy. Him showing that he's still witty, that he could come up with the best of lines and rhyme with the best of them. Did you have any expectations with this album coming out?
I was kind of concerned because I was like, you know, I wonder. You know what? Too? Can I do a side note?
Go ahead.
As a side note, another DJ that I love too, DJ Mathematics dropped the album.
Okay, and I heard shout that out.
And I heard him promoting that on Roxanne Shante, and then he released a track or two that I heard, you know, on satellite. Thank God for satellite radio, because some of the stuff I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? Because there's no way to promote it. But DJ Mathematics dropped the album because it has Capadonna, Method Man, and I forgot who else, and they ripped the track. It's called Mandingo. But he's got a whole album like that he released. Anyway, point I'm making is go check that out. Wu-Tang has been kind of like leaking things, like all the Wu-Tang, because I think Method is trying to come back out too one. But I'm pretty sure, I know not Kappa, I'm sorry. Mathematics dropped one. Now Ghostface is dropping. I think
and he said, sorry to cut you off. He said even after this, he's right back at it. There's some talks of a Wu Block album coming out.
I think
with
that's
him and Sheik Luch and D Block. So he said, he's in full.
Yeah. He's doing what he's doing, and he's also got a new. He's got a female artist too. I forgot.
Talking about DJ Mathematics or Ghostface?
No, Ghostface.
Okay.
Got a female artist. I can't speak her name right now as we speak. That's just in my head. But the Supreme Clientele too, just because at that point, if you want to look at going back to Supreme Clientele 1, that's when Ghost was basically at his peak. He was at his peak. Like you just expected him to drop.
Apollo Kids.
Right. So you expected him to just do what Ghostface knows how to do. So on this album, from what I was hearing from tracks, I was trying to just check into, he basically, it's like he picked up right where he left off at.
Yeah.
It's like basically, you know, when Floyd fought Conor McGregor, you be like, oh, he's been out for a while.
I still could whoop your ass.
Yeah, he's like, he could be out. And you kind of seen when Floyd was out there fighting, like he still, it's like he never put the boxing down. So I think with Ghost, I think I kind of look at it like that too. Like he just kind of it never stops. I don't know what he's doing to keep his flow the way it is, because I think he's got it.
I think when you're doing something so long and you don't stop and you keep pushing yourself, it's just like, I'm just now getting into a fitness journey. I just started recently, like a month ago. And I feel like I'm starting to hit a stride where it's starting to become second nature. Like I want to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I want to eat these certain foods. So these guys got 30-something years in, man. They ain't not 10, not 20, not 20. They got 30 plus years.
Right.
And when you really love something, whether it's fashion, whether it's sports, if you can still, I want you to think about this, not the sidetrack. Don't you think some of our favorite sports athletes, football and basketball, don't you still think they wish they can play in their 50s?
Yes.
But injuries and age prevents them from performing at their best.
Yeah.
Now with hip hop, now with jazz or singing, as long as you still got your vocal box, it's really up to your mental ability to produce at the highest art form. So that's like, for me, it's like when I listen, I'm like, yo, he's seeing that, yo, I can still push this pen.
Right.
So when he did Curtis May, there's a song on here called Curtis May where it's him, Styles P, and Conway.
Okay.
Ghostface, Styles P, and Conway. So if you like bars, the Curtis May track,
insane.
The way they flowing over the beat, the way they compliment each other, man. And I'm still skimming through it. You know, can't listen to a great art project in one day and say it's a classic. Like, you might listen to 2 songs one day, go back and so forth. But from what I'm listening to, it's like, God, like these guys are 50 plus, still
killing it,
pushing themselves for this culture.
Right.
So that's another thing I think I'm gonna start to do. Not just say I like the album, but I actually want to show appreciation to the game by saying to any artist that's still pushing at this age, thank you. Because I'm pretty sure y'all got other things to do with your life. Y'all got families, y'all got kids, y'all got wives, y'all got whatever y'all own hobbies is. Maybe y'all want to travel the world, but y'all giving us the art form that you guys want to push. You know, how many artists said, you know, hell, I'm done with R&B, I'm done with rap. You know, let me go travel the world. Let me go put the game down for 5 years.
Facts.
Y'all ain't leave us, man.
Facts.
Y'all ain't leave us.
Right.
So I appreciate that as a fan of hip hop, as a fan of this culture. Thank you for not leaving us during this time, because if the Ghostfaces, if the DJ Premiers, and they're up next on this Mass Appeal rollout, because Mass Appeal's rolling out more albums.
Right.
You know, Nas is coming next.
Right.
If those guys will leave us right now, where will we be at?
In trouble.
I think we need to be more grateful when these artists, Slick Rick and all them artists, start dropping now over these last 3 to 4 years after COVID and moving forward. Y'all better not be complaining. I know I threw a little tidbit in there about Busta Rhymes, but I appreciate the hell out of the album because what's coming from these 20-year-olds?
Oh God, crap.
I can't name you one 20-year-old artist right now that I'm excited about, and it's no disrespect to y'all. I'm searching, but it's not that hard to find when Mass Appeal does a rollout. That was another thing. The rollout was good. I like the media run that they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, got a music video that they did. Rap Kingpin, I thought was dope.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
How did you like that music video?
Shouts out to Nizzle too, man, because he was in that video.
Yeah, shout out to Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Yo, Nizzle, man. Nizzle, you've been working since how long?
When we do that
2011 or something?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Maybe 13.
Yeah.
Nizzle was a dope artist from Staten Island, man, and he was in the video as you were saying. But go ahead.
That song. I mean, that just, and that's just like a little jab he's throwing. Like, yo, I'm just gonna show you how I'm gonna start. Just starting just like that with the little jab. But I mean, he's doing and he's just being Ghost, man. I mean, if that is the element of Ghost, you just can't duplicate that. That's why he is who he is.
Here's another thing I like about the album Supreme Clientele too. Introducing skits back into albums. Yeah. There are some iconic skits in various albums. Like if you think of Jay-Z, there was the dude that did that voice.
Oh, Pain in the Ass?
Yeah. That's his name?
Yeah.
That always did those iconic skits on Jay-Z album.
Yeah, they were dope too, man. Those was dope.
You know, and anytime you got an artist that can think of a dope skit, whether it's what they're going through or whether it's a comedic skit. Big Pun had a skit on one of his albums one time. I'm not going to get into it because it's sexually explicit. But that used to be a part of the albums.
Yes.
They were either comic relief skits or they were something the artist was going through. It was just something dope. And he has a couple of those in here. He has a skit called the Paul skit.
Mm-hmm.
What do they say in New York?
Pause.
Yeah. You gotta. What's it called? A glizzy? Oh, you. Come on, man. We over 40.
Yeah.
We eat hot dogs at barbecues.
Yeah.
Everything's a pause. So it was dope hearing them do that. And speaking of pause, not to sidetrack, because I don't want to get off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
But who that was popular from them Harlem?
And Cameron and Dame and all of them. Yeah.
They falling out.
Yeah.
They was going at it today. Your man Dame was like,
yo, school me on that. Go ahead, talk about
They've been going back and forth. The internet already see it.
Mm.
But I segued from the pause skit from Ghostface because we know pause because we keep hearing Cameron say it in every other word.
Yeah. And he knows how to do it. Yeah.
And to see him and Dame go through it is sad. It's two ways you could look at that, and I'm not going to get into that whole dialogue. But Dame was going off today.
Mm.
He was like, man, I don't know what this guy, he disappeared for a while after he got punched in the face. And I was like,
go.
Dame.
I'm going to leave that alone, man.
Come on, Dame. That happened 20 years ago. You didn't have to bring up Cameron got punched in the face 20 years ago, Dame.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Let me say something about Dame, even though I don't agree with him telling about that. I don't think Dame's ever really salty. You know what I think Dame feels? And I've never met him. I can't tell you anything about him. Let me just say this. I think what makes him upset about the whole thing, about everything he sees outside, he remembers being in the rooms with people that he helped get to where they went and hearing those people that they're working with now and how they were talking about those people. Mm-hmm. So meaning, in other words, somebody might have said, yo, if you just get Jay to sign this, we can get the money on the back end, we can do this and this and the third. And he said, no, his loyalty role with his man.
Well, but he now brought that up with Cameron.
Looking back at it now he's like, yo, maybe I should did that because look what you did to me. You get what I'm saying?
Kind of brought that up with Cameron. I was like, when is the last time you had a hit record?
Yeah.
Like, I was in your old boy video. I hooked that up, You haven't had too many hit records in your career.
Like, Horse and Carriage, well, or it didn't. Horse and Carriage was, but I mean, when that first came out.
Then he said, yo, you talking about my movies. What about your movies? People talking about your movies? Because I think they're forgetting your movies too.
What, Killer Season?
And Cameron had a few movies out, like underground movies. Remember, he did that deal with Queen Latifah to produce some films over on that network. The point Dane was making is you're laughing at Honor Up saying it wasn't all that, but you got 4 or 5 movies out there that nobody talks about.
I don't think I knew about it. I don't know about Killer Season.
He has a few movies, eh? Yeah. But that goes into Dane's point. You can't laugh at my movie Honor Up when you got about 4 or 5 movies that people don't even know exist.
Honor Up wasn't bad, and Honor Up was a good movie.
Cameron was laughing. He's talking about Cameron was laughing at it.
Yeah.
But again, I don't went off the rails, but that was my segue in talking about the pause and, let me reel it back in, this Supreme Clientele.
Okay. But, you want to do, okay. Because I thought that's where we were going, but no.
No, we're going to get back because I done took a left and let me get back on the main street.
Okay, got you.
What is we've been listening to hip hop for a while. Like I said, the pause skit, there's a few skits in there. What you, from your ear, you remember any skits that really drew your attention?
Wu-Tang definitely has some ill skits. Wu-Tang. If you listen to Wu-Tang Forever, they had some ill skits on there. There's something about Holyfield. They say, yo, with Tyson, it's like, yo, he gonna bite his ear. And it is like dirty. He put a napkin on his thing. He is crazy. You know what I mean? Like he had a few. The Wu-Tang Forever album had a few skits. One of the most infamous skits was I don't know, was it Eric's Mobb Deep, and they were kind of talking crazy. This is what started that whole Def Squad Mobb Deep beef, because he said
they got into it with Def Squad.
Well, Prodigy, it's a lot behind that story. That I don't even. This Prodigy is no longer here, so I don't really want to elaborate on it.
Gotcha.
But he was like, yeah, I don't know what you dudes be talking about, all that spaced out, um, weirdo, out of this world, George Jetson type of mess. He's like, I don't know what y'all be talking about. And when he was talking on the skit, it kind of sounded like he was talking about Redman and Keith Murray, because they were the ones talking like that, rhyming like that. So, Redman was talking about, I can't wait to get it on. He's like, used to talk about all this. He used to talk like that, like rhyme about it, but we all assumed who he was talking about. And it started a whole riff, and it got escalated. It got escalated bad. But long story short, yeah, that was a classic skit. Then there's the I don't know if it's a skit. Well, when the illest skit I heard, if you could get life after death, when Biggie was talking about Nasty Girl, and he's like, yo, I heard something crazy the other day. He's like, this chick wanted me to take a shit on her. And the dude said, what? His man was on the phone. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, it was just crazy. He's like, yeah. So after I took the so the dude starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I was laughing about it, but Biggie's, that Biggie skit was funny.
Yeah, he had a couple too with fucking with Kim and stuff. But
yeah.
Just going back into the Supreme Clientele 2 album, the use of the skit, like again, he said, yo, let me keep it 90s, because that's how we did our albums. Moving forward, I think they asked him, he was on an interview, they asked him what's next, and he said, yo, I'm right back at it. I'm doing the Woo Block album. Don't know when it's dropping, but he said it's in the works.
Yeah.
What would you like to see from Ghostface next?
What's funny? And I think that album he did with I think it was on E1, man. But I think he should do another album, because Chris Lighty had told him, you should do a joint like, talking about like, what you deal with the women and everything.
That R&B joint.
Yeah, he had did one like that, and it was dope, but it wasn't promoted because it was on E1.
That was a hell of an album. It had Neo, Fabulous.
Yeah. He
was talking about some shit that I could relate to.
Yeah. It was grown man stuff. Now, food stamps and doo-doo, wooda. That's how it sounds. You ever seen the Boondocks?
Yeah.
Remember the dude that when Riley went to go see his boy from back in the day, and his old friend was rocking with this new cat that was just talking some African bambling type of crazy stuff?
Yeah.
That's kind of how like some of these new hip hop artists sound. Like, what the hell are you saying, man? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that this era is still popping. Cause I don't know, some of these cats, man, I don't care. And once you can't cancel me. First of all, they look like weirdos. That's one. Two, they sound even weirder. And I mean, my son don't even talk like that. He don't even talk. He don't do. Well, he know a lot of the old school songs, because a lot of that stuff now, I don't even think he can repeat it, because he can't understand it. That's how they sound.
You think about like Big X the Plug. Really hot right now.
The big dude.
He's got a unique voice. It's like,
yeah.
I heard one of his songs. Let me say this. I don't know his whole catalog, so I don't want to immediately shun him. I remember hearing a song. So him and what was the dude that's been out recently? There's a dude that was on $1 Million Worth of Game, and I forget his name. I'm having like a brain fog, but he talked about how he only makes songs 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I'm gonna tie this all in.
Oh Lord.
Y'all artists, going to your point, what you asked me about that artist, what I want to see from artists like him is them putting out well-rounded songs longer than 2 minutes. Now, maybe he has them, maybe he doesn't. I just don't know his specific discography. But I need artists to go back to learning how to make complete records. Stop telling us, the consumer, oh, well, this is all what it is on TikTok. They only want to, I keep hearing people say, oh, they only want to hear 1 minute and 20 seconds. Y'all really can't write music.
Yeah.
How many of y'all was in band back in high school? or the choir at your church, because y'all could write a little 16 bars, but y'all can't compose a song and it's showing. Because when you can compose a song, people do want to hear the full 3 minutes.
Right.
Because you're talking about something in verse 2 and verse 3. You're having a complete thought. You're building a scene to shoot a music video. That's why, what music videos is coming out to a minute song? There's there's a reason why those songs are minute clips on Instagram.
Right.
And not movies being integrated back in YouTube or wherever they need to go. But again, maybe Big X the Plug does have it. I just haven't heard it.
What do I think about Big X?
I don't know if you listen to it.
I've heard a song or two.
Because it's like half what you would think like would be like that kind of a style that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can understand them, but also like he's making some songs that get like big artists, big collaborations, like a mixture.
Right. I think. Well, I can't. I just can't. I try, but I just can't. If I can't understand you, start mumbling. I tune you out fast. I'm like, oh, here we go. So
he has something I like, independent from United Masters. So salute to him for that.
Okay.
Is it the Big Stepper song? I think it's the Big Stepper song that I heard. That's probably the most. But go ahead with your thoughts. Sorry to cut you off.
I don't go ahead with my thoughts. Exactly. See how I'm doing them right now? That's how they sound. Yep.
I think he had a song to play. Yeah, I'm familiar with some of it because he came through in the COVID era.
That's why a nightclub don't be having no more buzz no more. Do you hear the crap they playing? What? How can you? That shit gives you a headache. Wait, why? Why? My God, why? Jesus. This needs to go, man. It needs to go.
Before we sidetrack, though, overall, listening to Supreme Clientele makes me want to hear more Ghostface.
Facts.
So, again, salute to all the artists that are currently dropping music, that are still staying with us and giving us their best during this time period. I felt Ghostface continues to elevate the art form when he spits. So salute to him. Supreme Clientele too. I believe you can pre-order the physical album from the Mass Appeal website. You can go on their socials and find the link. Go pick that up because, like I said, physical media is back in style. I know if you're on the internet, you done seen y'all girl Cardi B. She's going through some court case and she released physical media just trolling. But just to my point, get you a piece of physical media if you're within hip hop. That's what I got to say about that.
Okay.
Now, we're still in hip hop land. I want to talk about the Hot 97 situation, not a long, drawn-out conversation, 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
We talked about it, on our breaks or whatever like that. You got the overall context to what's happening over there. So what are your thoughts on what's going on at Hot 97?
Because it was announced that Funkmaster Flex was stepping down from the primary slot, and he was going down to the slot underneath that, the prequel, like basically to it. I mean, I think it's a good idea because I'm pretty sure, you need somebody just a little bit younger, man. Like, you got to let somebody take over. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have the belt forever. You get what I'm saying? But I think that also, I think his man, DJ Enough, got put out. You know what I mean? Because I think he was in that slot. So I think, I mean, I don't know who they're going to put in there, but, whatever, man. What I think is that, I mean, it's good that it's going to give somebody an opportunity, but I think also, I hope Flex didn't cut his man and stab him in the back and slit his throat, like stab him in the back and take his spot just because he wasn't rocking no more. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel, but I do know this. Hot 97, I think it's some pressure to switch it up. Yeah, I mean, they got to switch it up.
So I guess my question, I have my thoughts, but there's more questions. Do you think because artists, New York artists and artists on the East Coast have been complaining that unless you have a top 40 record, you're not going to find your way on Hot 97? Maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, when one of the DJs play your record when nobody's up, but they're really not supporting East Coast artists.
Right.
Do you think because there's a long time period of that now it's a little too late for anybody to kind of switch it up now? Like, is it too late for Hot 97 to rebrand themselves? Because at this point, what are they useful for?
No, it's not too late. It's just because I mean it's them and Power 105, so the top two stations only. Well, there's another hip hop station. I think it's 98.7 or something like that. But that's not neither here nor there. I don't think it's too late for them to rebrand themselves, but I think they need to have a real conversation. And I think the arrogance from the program director and the egos need to come down, and they need to address the issue. Wonder how did we get here with this issue, and make sure this issue doesn't happen again. And maybe you need to listen to the people out in the neighborhoods. How are you telling me? So let me tell you. Can I say something real quick?
Ahead.
So not to drag this out, I remember a time, and you know this because this was during your era too. Mano, Papoose, Saigon, J Hood. Oh, I'm missing somebody. Remy Ma, maybe, if I'm thinking. But they were all coming. They were all coming. And I don't remember.
This is what, 2007?
Yeah, and I don't remember Hot 97 pushing those artists. Atlanta doesn't have this problem. New Orleans doesn't have this problem. Miami doesn't have this problem. Texas doesn't have this problem. Cali doesn't have this problem. It is only in New York that we have an issue pushing the artists that we do. And it's so naive and ignorant. Like even like West Side Gun on them. How you, to be honest with you, how you ain't even push them?
You want to bring that we would go over on this time of the podcast, so I'm not gonna do it. But Lord, don't get me started on them missing the ball with all the upstate New York artists that's popping now, because now y'all love Stove God from Syracuse. Now y'all love Benny the Butcher. Now y'all love Griselda and Conway and 38 Special. Those guys been rhyming for decades.
Yeah.
But couldn't find their way on Hot 97. They just 2 hours up on I-87. Go ahead.
And they don't, I don't understand how Hot 97 didn't break those artists. They didn't break them. The only one that tried, and God rest his soul, is K Slay. That was it. Nobody else. And let me say this. Part of it is some of the DJs' fault. I'm not going to blame this all on the radio station. I'm not going to say no names. Not yet. But some of them DJs ought to be ashamed of themselves too. It was, yo, you need to drop a bag off. Really? Drop a bag off? Negro, I'm from the same neighborhood you came from. How you asking me to drop a bag? So you're going to try to jack some kid and drink, well, you know this kid don't have the money to pay you. Must be out your damn mind. But let me not even go there. I'm sidetracking. Point I'm making is that Hot 97 has a realistic conversation, and they got to say, and I get it, what pays the bills? Yes, you play the same 10 songs every 2 hours, right? We get it. But at the same time, you have to have that uniqueness. I remember when I used to go back and forth, I always used to turn on Hot 97.
So you get halfway up 87, and it's just halfway.
Switches. I mean, it switches. And this is before I had satellite. And then I would put on the mixtapes, or I put a mix CD in. Now it's to a point, we on satellite, I don't turn on 97 on. You ever see me turn on 97 on?
Never.
Right.
And we travel around a lot.
Yeah, on the East Coast, we go up and down, not only to the 5 boroughs, but we be in Jersey, or even all the way down to Philly. Yeah, so we can get Hot 97, and we still don't rock out. Well, yeah, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying?
That shows, like I said, going back to how I started the conversation, when I've been talking about the underground artists and how they're moving, releasing independent albums, because y'all forced them to. Shout out to the Press Collective. Shout out to Bars Over BS and all those boutique labels out there. Shout out to Fat Beats. We were at the Fat Beats 30th.
Yeah.
Those platforms, whether they're online or physical stores, that are giving independent artists a time to shine, collaborating with them, putting out tapes. When K Slay was alive, doing mixtapes. What is Hot 97 doing innovative for the newer artists or even the older artists?
Nothing.
Don't point me to a show, oh, well, such and such comes on at 1 a.m. The average person is asleep at that time.
Yeah.
There has to be something more. Don't tell me about Summer Jam, because apparently people were falling asleep this year at Summer Jam.
Wasn't that when Jim Jones was on stage?
Yeah.
I think Flex had to cut his mic because he's like, yo, this is bad.
So what, like, even Summer Jam, we went to a couple of them, 2010, 11, and 12, and so forth. What shows are they putting on to say, yo, these group of artists are coming? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not like we're ignorant, like we're trying to search for it. I don't see it. So when you say they need to have a conversation, it's more. Ebro was talking and he said they won't invest in the studio. They won't invest in the DJs. The what's it? Who
Sponsors?
owns? No, not sponsors. Who
MS
owns them?
Communications?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the big dogs won't invest in it. So that's telling you if they're not going to invest into the show, how much investment they're going to give to the culture.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You know, so I just wanted to chime in 5 to 10 minutes on that.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts on this, on that. Yeah, I had power for a long time and I ain't do nothing with it.
You talking about Hot 97?
Hot 97.
It's
like you wasted your time on the throne. That's the best way. That's the best analogy.
Facts,
Like you were king of an
great
empire.
analogy, yeah.
You Hot 97. You were king of an empire through a certain time period, and while your time on the throne, you didn't take care of your empire.
Right.
That's the best analogy I can give to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
The DJs at Hot 97, the program directors, you guys were king of an empire in hip hop culture, and you squandered your time throughout your run. And now the people of that civilization within hip hop is looking at y'all saying, what's next? And you say, well, we ain't got nowhere to go. Bread and circuses. So what happens? Either the civilization dies or the people say, oh, we're going to do something ourselves. And the people, the culture, that's what you're seeing. Independent podcasts, independent radio personalities.
Yeah.
It's all of it. It's not just rap. It's all of the stuff that spins off of it.
Yeah.
Independent movements. This is why you're seeing all these independent personalities pop up. Because maybe if you were doing what you were doing correctly, we would see that at Hot 97. No disrespect. I need to see more than Ebro and Cypher Sounds and Peter Rosenberg. It's been 10 years or longer. Who are the next acts? Who are the other shows that are spinning off for there?
I remember when it was a time when, and I'm not trying to sound like the old school dude, but I remember even when I was going back this far, even when I was in college, every night there was a specific DJ. So sometimes I think DJ Absolute was in the morning, but I remember I remember, what was it? Let me just go down the list of DJs. Cypher Sounds was on one night.
Salute to him.
DJ Who Kid was on one night. K Slay was on one night. DJ Clue was on one night. I'm missing somebody here. DJ Enough. I'm missing some. I know I'm missing somebody. Flex, of course, and then and Funk Master Flex. But there was like every night there was a certain major DJ, and then there's of course Bobby Connor's and them. But every night there was a certain DJ. So Who Kid, I think Clue was on Monday nights. If I'm not mistaken, K-Slay was on Thursday. Flex had Fridays and Saturday nights. And I want to say Enough was in the evening time. But there was like multiple, there was certain DJs that had certain things like certain nights. So every night it was like a mixtape experience. You get what I'm saying? It ain't like that now. I don't feel like it's like that. And then on top of that, you would hear certain artists. You ain't hearing no artists no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. It's a lot of crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I guess that's my thoughts. I want to travel over to 2 more topics before we switch to sports or politics.
Okay.
Do you have anything you want to audible to?
As far as hip hop?
Yeah.
No. I just want to say that, it's just sad where Hot 97's going, and, I don't know what they're going to be playing, but, I mean, if Flex is going down, whoever you're bringing up next, they got to know what they're doing. Or it's going to get real bad, real fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, we spend our time curating hip hop. We don't do a lot of the gossiping of what goes on. But we'll talk about a few topics in light. And I'm only bringing this topic up because it confused the hell out of me. What's going on with Young Thug after he came home from jail? Boy, oh boy, that brand, whatever brand he had, not saying I agreed or disagreed with it, got flushed down the toilet in 3 business days. Those Fed tapes released, and I was utterly confused. Those Fed tapes is all over. I guess I don't want to say Fed tapes. The recorded conversations of him in jail talking to his friends and his girlfriend and just gossiping about everybody's business. Man, what a way to flush your career down the drain. You got any thoughts on this?
What? Yeah, so I heard bits and pieces of it, but just if you could elaborate more and get in a deeper conversation and say, hey.
It was multiple stuff. Like today, they released another audio recording where he was talking to his girlfriend and him out of all people talking about Glorilla's ugly.
What?
Yeah. Like, but this is a grown man, air quotes, in his 30s. Like, we don't talk like that as, you know, you calling like that's, and you're in jail? I'm sorry.
Was he trying to make his girlfriend feel better or something?
I don't like, hey, it's not the point. It's the overall. He's talking about little baby's contract. He's talking about this person owes this money. Like, I never, you know how they talk about chatty patties and people gossiping? I never heard of this before.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I'll make a statement. And I got, because I'm reading this book by a brother called by the name of Dave Anderson. You got to read his book called The Black Agenda, and we'll have that conversation on the podcast. He talked about it on one of his YouTube clips on Our Never Knew TV, which is another YouTube platform you need to check out. And he said sometimes we got to beware of leading blacks because they're leading us right off a cliff. I remember everybody wanted to be down with that YSL movement with Young Thug. Do you hear the buffoonery and clownish stuff you're seeing?
Top tier buffoonery. That's the best way. All the bits and pieces that they release every day, it gets worse and worse.
That is the guy that y'all want to say, yo, he's a thorough dude. How?
And hey, thank you for bringing that up. Do you have more? Because I want to interject.
I want to. Well, I'm gonna say something that's probably unpopular. Any man that wants to sit there and have no, I'm gonna say what it is. You got a machine gun in one hand and you're in a wedding dress with a bunch of really that's your leader. If I had a screenshot right now, I would hold it right up. That's the guy you got leading. That's the example of who's a thorough dude. And I'm not condoning none of the street stuff, but I'm just saying, when I saw the leaders, even when they were in the streets doing wrong, they looked like men. They looked like leaders, like grown adults that could lead, or with smart brothers. When I saw, let me say something about Dame and Jay, and this is before they became who they was. You saw who they was. They was cool. They moved. Go back and look at what's the Dead President's video shoot. Did you see how Jay and them were dressed? They look like men. They look like soldiers. They look like militant brothers that was trying to get on top. And I'm not saying something that's going to go against it, but look at Young Thug. And are you shocked by what he's saying on that tape? Really? Go look at the image. That alone tells you everything you need to know. And you're shocked that he's talking about somebody being ugly and gossiping like a girl? Really? You a clown, man. I don't know why even people worried about that dude. He had to be in protective custody. He had to be in PC when he's locked up. He had to be. He had to be.
And let me sidebar this because I know cancel culture.
Yeah, I know. D's got to give the politically correct. Go ahead.
Deshaun Jones. I am not against men who want to wear dresses. If you want to wear dresses, knock yourself out. I have nothing negative to say about it. I am not going to discriminate on any man who, if that's their preference, that's their preference. Knock yourself out. I'm going to talk about more of the, as you said, the quote unquote street culture. That was the death blow.
Facts.
That should be the nail in the coffin for all you quote unquote tough, thorough gangsters. Because Ty, I think I told you this.
Looking like Ronald McDonald. Let's just say that. Go ahead.
Ty, I think I told you this before. And I think I told you this. You knew me all my life. Deshaun Lee Jones, I'm the biggest civilian in the world.
Hey, yeah.
There's no bigger civilian than Deshaun. If they had a civilian handbook, I would be there reading the magazine, studying my lessons. The biggest civilian. But as square as I am, Azar, even I know that all county, federal, and state penitentiary jail phone calls and mail are wired and are property of the state or federal government. And I'm the squarest of the square. So how did you not know that those phone conversations were being recorded and could be used against you? It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Again, I'm the biggest civilian. There's no big in the world. I'm the biggest civilian.
Okay, can I say something else? It don't take a rocket science to see when you want to do a photo shoot and you make the male photographer shoot you naked, that you hearing him talk like that on the tape. Now we can go there with that.
Okay.
Since we don't want to be cancel culture and all that. It's weirdo stuff. It's not normal. Stop trying to normalize it. It's not normal. The way he was moving out here before he got locked up, he was looking like Goofy. And those are cartoon characters. He was a real dude
he made
looking
the male
goofy.
Photographer shoot him.
Yeah,
shoot his private part or something.
Yeah, he made the male photographer get naked and shoot him.
Oh,
like
I didn't hear that.
Of him. Yeah,
the photographer was naked.
He had to be naked to take pictures.
And
of
that's
him.
a better. That's a better point.
That's insanity. And nobody said nothing because I guess they worry about what people think. I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm sorry. That dude is not a representation of anything that I listen to or what I enjoy listening to or entertained by or what I follow. And it doesn't have nothing to do with me hating on anybody that goes that route. I'm just telling you that dude is representing an image and he's over here trying to play tough guy. And because y'all think he didn't snitch to the feds or the cops or whatever, he's still a clown. It don't make no difference, man. He is goofy as hell. Yo, and I hate the how can I put it? Because I know it's gonna sound like, yo, hey, you talking about black man, how you degrading him? He's degrading himself, and he needs to be told. What's he gonna do? Get on the phone and start talking about somebody? How stupid can you be?
Again, the biggest civilian what did we knows talk about? Better.
You know what? In our production conversation this morning, our production meeting on our phones, right? What did I say? I said, you know, before, and this is, I think this is where I was going with it with the whole wedding dress thing. Before, they had to make laws to counter how the guys were moving in the street. Mm-hmm. So the guys were kind of smart and intelligent. So once again, I'm not promoting it, but I'm just saying they were businessmen too. So when you got guys like Supreme Team, Fat Cat, Killer Ben, you know, Jimmy Henchman, all them, you have to create certain federal laws because you know you can't get them on just the regular
laws. That's why they get caught up in tax evasion.
Because they were smart enough to move the way they move. Nowadays with these guys, they're on phones, talking, chatting like it's a talk show, telling everything in a song, telling everything. I don't understand how you doing it.
Hey. I'm the biggest civilian. You know me.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the square. Like, I got family. I got people I know that's in fish scale, whatever. I get a phone call. The most I'm doing is saying, I'm praying for you.
You know what, man? 50 Cent made a good point. I ain't going to say who he talked about, but you'll know when I'm saying it. When you look at these cats, man, I'm not saying that you need to go out and do some wild stuff. What has he ever really done? What has he ever really done? What movement has he done? Let me just give the flip side of it. Well, he's not a street dude like that. Then why is he rapping street stuff?
Bingo.
Why is he rapping street stuff? Why don't you rap it? Time out. Since we're not discriminating, go rap about wedding men's and wedding dresses. Go rap about that. I have no problem with it. But go over there, man. Don't be over here in this lane talking crazy. Just go over there and rap about that. You're a cornball. You the stuff you hearing on the tape, this dude is speaking out his mouth about things he shouldn't speak about. But if somebody go flying upside his head, then they're gonna be like, yo, that's Vance. No, he opened the door for that. He looks crazy. He looks insane. He's a horrible leader. He's doing nothing. And let me give you the flip side of it. So let's just say, he can be a positive influence. What positive influence can he be?
We're going to talk about that next. I thank you for bringing up that point because it's going to help segue into Boosie's situation with his son about positive influence. Thank you for bringing that up. Go ahead.
No, I'm so tired of these clowns. And for especially for young black boys, because I'm very adamant about black boys lately. I just knowing what I went through in a PWI.
Went through a PWI as well, yeah.
And knowing what I went through in my teenage years and what they try to do to me, I'm telling y'all, look at the image of what they're portraying out there and being put through these labels. Look at what these label heads are doing and what they're portraying to black men of how they look. I do got a problem with it because I can assure you there ain't nothing like that in country or in rock and roll, and I ain't seen it. Don't tell me, they used to wear makeup. No, I don't want to hear that, man. And it was still manly. I don't want to hear that because they was wilding out with the chicks and had the hair and everything. I know about. Hear what I'm saying to you. I'm going to say this one more time. The guys up in the office that don't look like us, look at the image that they're portraying and letting of young black males. Look at that. That is what you let out and you signed. Who in the hell is in that office of the director of black music and said that dude in that wedding dress, we need to get behind that because that's going to hit. Not where I'm at, not with the circle I run with, not with the crews and the hip hop and the parks and everything that we've been in. I ain't seen none of that. So I don't know what image or whatever you're getting this from or wherever you're co-signing, but it ain't here. So you clearly you trying to bamboozle or mess around. I ain't gonna go on a political rant, but let's just keep it 100 here. Who in the hell we saw in the park looking like that? Nobody. Who do we see on stage looking like that? Nobody. Who do we even hear on the stage talking like that? Nobody. You think you can get Ghostface Killer on a fat tape talking like that? You think you get Slick Rick talking like that? Nas, any of them. Jay, Dame, Cam, Jim, none of them. And Jadakiss, none of them. Even though we're not happy with Bootsy right now, none of them. So let's just keep it 100. Why is he around? Cancel him like you do 6ix9ine. You can just go away, man. Go away. Go away. And that's another one. Side note, the dude was with colorful Ronald McDonald hair with Skittles teeth, and that's what the company signed? Really? Even Jim said when he went to the shoot that day, when all those young black boys were sitting out there yelling and promoting his music, he said he wasn't with it because he saw what was over there. He's from a certain era, and he knows that ain't it. Once again, I'm going to say this one last time. So my partner, which I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I completely apologize. Look at the image that they're portraying of what they think of you. That alone gives you the answer. There's no way a Skittle Teeth kid is going to sit on the block. That ain't going to happen. I can tell you right now, you're going to get ran off the block. He going to get ran off the block. Even when 6ix9ine was hot, I never saw that kid on the block. Never. Neither with young people. Like, I still ain't seen no wedding dresses running around. Let's just be honest. But, I mean, hey, what do I know? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
Again, just my disclaimer.
Yeah.
I got to be the politically correct person.
Yeah.
Deshaun and Enveonline is not discriminating against anybody who prefers to wear wedding dresses. If that's your thing, knock yourself out. There's no hate in my heart. Hey, if that's what you do, that's what you do. God bless. I want to touch on the next subject. I like that you brought that point up about the influence. The situation with Little Boosie going on right now. So on one hand, for people who are following what's going on with Boosie, the feds re-picked up his case. I don't know what happened. Was the case officially closed? Long story short, they picked up that gun case he caught 3 years ago as somebody who he beat the death chair from that first trial that he did 5 years from.
Right.
They were trying to give him the death penalty because there were some murders behind that case. But I'll leave that alone because that's a whole nother conversation. He did 5 years. He was able to come home, change his life. He's been out for a while now. 7, 8 years, doing shows, tours, buying land. Like I thought like he turned it around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out in Cali, not being smart. You have enough money to hire armed security.
Mm-hmm.
You catch a gun case as a felon, a federal case that could put you away for at least another 5 years in your 40s. I'm going to say it again. He ain't no 35-year-old.
Right.
He ain't no 38-year-old. He's in his 40s.
Right.
And now you're going to have to go sit down for another 2, 5, or how many more years. And I don't wish that on him. But you did it to yourself. Here's the second part of the argument that I know he didn't see coming, because no parent wishes this.
Right.
No parent wishes to bury their kid or watch their kid go through a jail sentence.
Right.
It's every parent's worst fear that has sons, daughters, whatever.
Right.
You don't want to bury your child, and you don't want your child to have to go sit down for a long extended time. So today we look on the blogs, and his son they actually got the video footage of him trying to run from some cops because they pulled over his car and he had multiple guns in his car.
Damn.
His son, Tootie Raw. I think the kid is 18. He might be, 18 years old or something like that. Fresh teenager. Didn't even live his life. Spent the last 6 or 7 years in a gated community in a mansion. But going back to what you said about influence.
Yeah.
As a parent, I know you don't want to hear this. I know people are going to say it's not the time. But you failed as a father. And that's a tough pill to swallow. It's one thing when you get arrested the first time as an adult. Hey, I'm not going to tell people you can't make a mistake. Everybody, you're one U-turn away from getting arrested. Hell, you can get arrested off a parking ticket. But when you came home and you reformed your life, it was your job as a grown adult in your 30s to stay on that track, because I think he has 9 to 10 kids. Those kids depend on you as a parent, especially if they're in your primary custody.
Right.
But what do boys like to do? They like to look up to their father. So what example was Boosie setting for his teenage son outside of the riches? Because people will point to the mansion.
Right.
But do mansions and cars and money really instill morals and values in children? No, because it's not a race thing. There's a whole bunch of rich people on the other side of town that try to raise their kids like that, and they see what happens. They call them spoiled brats.
Facts.
They try to raise them in country clubs and send them to private school, and then when the kid goes off to college, they're entitled. They want mommy and daddy to pay for the cell phone, the internet, and so it doesn't work on either side. It's not a race issue.
Right.
You can't raise your kids like that and not instill things in them, values, morals, principles. If your kid grew up in a gated community, there's no reason why they're running around with loaded guns in the car. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
And I think one of the charges said he had an automatic. That's the one that's going to get him in trouble. And I hope somehow he's afforded a second chance, because I don't want to see no 18-year-old, 130-pound kid have to go do 5 years. But what influence? What influence did he have?
Yeah, I know.
I could tell you let me go here with this. I talk about this a lot, about my influence was my dad, and he still is, because he's alive. He's 60 years old. My father, 6'3" man from Mississippi. He raised me in a way where we were extremely close, but I knew there was a boundary. I knew that wasn't my homeboy from the block. I knew that was my father, and I needed to respect him. I needed to follow his command. When he laid down the law, I needed to follow it. If he told me not to play in the street because I get hit by a car, okay, if I go take my butt out in the street, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even when I got older, in my 20s, and I was thinking about this today. In my 20s, I was quote unquote drinker. I would drink sometime in my 20s. I never brought that around my dad, and we were very close. I never called myself having, even at 21, 24, 20, I never called myself trying to get drunk with my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was cool, because I respected him for the way he raised me, and I knew there was a boundary there. That's not my homeboy.
Right.
That's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these kids look at their parents that way. I think they look at them as a big brother.
Right.
I even correct my kids now. One of my kids try to call me bro. That bro language. I say, yo, it's Dad, Mr. Jones, or you can even use my first name, Deshaun. Don't call me bro.
Right.
There's a strict boundary in the way I'm raising you and the way I'm gonna influence on you as a child.
Right.
That you're not gonna look at me like what you've seen on the internet, on YouTube, at school with your friends, or what you think. So that's my just on this. I really think one, I pray that somehow he's afforded a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
But this smells of bad parenting on Boosie part. What are your thoughts?
I mean, do you think, how can I put this? Do you think that I mean the content that Boosie's on TV talking about, I can't help. But I think also though, you know, there's no way Boosie told him to do nothing stupid like that. But
he got caught. He's getting sentenced in November. It's not about what he told him. Your kids are looking at your actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget what you're telling them. If I see my dad is about to get locked up and he's carrying around guns around the house, he's letting me smoke weed with him, what do I think I'm going to do when I'm 18 and I'm just now legal?
Yeah.
I'm going to go repeat what he's doing. I'm not in their household, but I see it every day in the community. People trying to be friends with their kids. Now, Boosie and his son might be in jail at the same time.
No, boy. That's crazy.
As he said on Vlad TV, 3 strikes, and you're out when he was talking about that whole queso situation. You're right there, Boosie. 3 strikes. You're going on your 3rd strike and your son is following you. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
That was your words on Vlad TV. Oh, man. But hey, I thought that was important to touch on as black men because we both have sons and we're parenting them in a tough time right now.
You saying I was gonna say to you, you're saying that basically that Bootsy this is his 3rd strike?
You beat the death penalty. He people forget he was either supposed to get life or the death penalty.
No, I remember that. That was a big case.
Now you caught a felony gun charge in your 40s. You do anything else, what you think them people want to do to you?
What was he doing with that?
He has enough money to hire armed security.
50 Cent made a good point, and I remember Tony Yayo talked about this, and he had said this. He said, if you need a gun where you're going, you don't need to be there. That's the facts. That's how you stay out of it. You know what I mean? That's how you just stay out of trouble. If you need to go.
And we're talking about the biggest gangsters in hip hop because they really were into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen 50 Cent catch no gun charges.
Because he ain't stupid. 1, 2, he's making millions of dollars. And let me say something and take this as a note. When you're doing what 50's doing, you don't have time to be for the BS. He doesn't have time to go sit there and get the ratchet and go deal with what he has to deal with. And why would he do it anyway? He's making millions of dollars. He's around beautiful women. He's a boss. He's an owner. Why would he look like rolling in the dirt with you? You get what I'm saying? He just ain't got the time to do it. So I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know why Bootsy was there and why he had it. And you've seen his nice homes. So why would you
50 acres of land? I think he's close to 100 acres.
Why would you put yourself in that predicament? Like, come on, Bootsy. And it's not even a thing of I'm mad at him. I'm more disappointed. Like, you know better. And like you said, you 43 years old. Really?
With diabetes. So then we talk about health-wise. Can your body really hold up for another stint in jail? Hope he pulls through. But this is what happens. This is what happens, you know.
I hope he's taking his medication.
Well, that's our hip hop topics. We over an hour with that. You want to drift into a political conversation, or you want to go sports?
I'll let you lead on that one.
Okay. There's a lot of political topics. We only got 2 hours. We can't do all of them. So one that's in a group chat. The crime problem that Donald Trump says he's going to address by sending troops, federal troops into certain areas like Chicago. What was the other area? DC, and so forth.
Yeah, but Chicago's the main one he's going after right now. I think he already sent them in DC.
Yeah.
And he sent them to LA too.
That's the context. Trump sending federal troops because he's going to fight crime that way. I just had this thought earlier today, and I'll give it after yours. What are your thoughts on? Do you think that it can realistically help the crime by sending federal troops?
It'll help. It momentarily will, but just like everything, you can't. I think he's painting this unrealistic picture. Like, I'm gonna shut it all down. It's not gonna work. Because at some point because there's gonna be casualties. It's like if you ever watch BMF, they sent the Red Dogs into Atlanta, but they were like terrorizing like normal working families too. So do you really want to send the National Guard in there, and they might be terrorizing the wrong people? You get what I'm saying? They're not just going to terrorize the criminals; they're going to terrorize the neighborhood. And most of those neighborhoods are people that look like us. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't. Maybe if the crime didn't get as bad as it was, it wouldn't be warranted or it wouldn't be looked upon as like reasonable to do. Because let me tell you something. I saw that. Did you see the clip where that mayor in Chicago and there was blacks telling him like, "Yo, Trump need to come in here because you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing." And that's not to mention the mayor before him, which is a woman. I
forgot Lightfoot or something.
Yeah. And she was tearing it up, making it bad. So I think at this point, man, I don't really agree with it, but at the same time, it's like a 50-50. Like, you send the National Guard in there, brother. I mean, we all know who's gonna get affected by that. You get what I'm saying? That's not happening in the suburbs. That's happening in cities. And I think how that's going to affect, though, how that's going to affect is going to be crazy, and it's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse, So, but let me also say this: Trump ain't the one to always be to blame. Those Democrats who feel like they say we're your friend and we're going to help you, they let it get like this too. So they play a part. Because if you don't give them nothing to come over there and bother you for, they ain't going to bother you. But you seem to just keep letting the crime rock and roll, and, it is what it is, man. So that's just my opinion. I look at it both ways. But no, overall, I don't think it should happen. It's not gonna work.
So it's twofold. How do I say it? It sucks because, just let me get the context out, because I know y'all like to jump on people.
Yeah.
I can't ignore the homicide rate in certain cities. I'd be stupid to say, yeah, it's not a big deal. But you're not, on one hand, you're not doing yourself no favors with what we see in the media. And I don't live there, so I don't overly want to jump into Chicago politics because I don't understand the neighborhoods. And only thing I get is what everybody else get is the homicide rates.
Right.
And the King Von news and all that other stuff, But you said something, and I'm going to bring it back to another point. Don't worry, I'll tie it all in. You said that's not going on in the suburbs.
No.
I know people are going to bite at that in the comments and say, well, there's no crime in the suburbs. And I'm going to bring that back to a little time period. So take a trip with me. Jump in this car. Let's drive backwards to the 80s, the crack era.
Lord have mercy.
Anybody remember the war on drugs and how that worked? Because it worked correctly, eh?
No.
Okay, so the war on drugs didn't work. Threw a whole bunch of people all across America in the 80s in prison. You split families up. I personally know, and I'm not going to get into my family dynamic, but let's just say, yeah, certain family members got split up. It was horrible all across the board, and they used the statistics to justify why if we caught you with a crack rock, even if you were an addict, we wouldn't give you treatment. We would just throw you in jail. They justified it, right?
Right.
What did we see 10 years ago with this new effort to fix the war on drugs? Because they saw that the addicts were coming from where? From the suburbs.
Yeah.
And then it became, let's offer, it's an epidemic. I remember the first time I saw, like 2013, a commercial, and they were talking about putting these things in the store where these safety places to shoot up at. And I was like, they're letting people shoot up in the bathroom, no judgment. But I remember when it was us, you would get locked up from that.
Wildin'.
You would be chastised from the community. Everybody was saying you was scum of the earth. People didn't want you to come over for dinner. Don't touch me. Get out of my church. You go to jail for 5 years. You can't see your kids. They're in foster care. But now let's fix it this way. How can I tie that into this? Well, I'm gonna drop a gem on that. When all the crack rock, because people forget that substance comes from, hate to do a science project, it comes from a powder form called cocaine. They said crack was for our people because it was just cheap drug. Well, if that was the cheap drug, Azar, this powder form over here was the what drug? Was the rich drug. So who could afford the rich drug, Azar?
People that got money that don't look like
Where
us.
do they live at, Azar?
And so it's suburbs.
Where do they play golf at?
Suburbs.
The country clubs.
Country clubs.
So the point I'm making was when they were raiding people home, because of the statistics, when they were busting up families, when they were sending my family to foster care because drugs this and drugs that, when they were doing all these things to our communities, did you think you saw a raid at a country club when this governor was probably snorting cocaine before he shot 17 holes?
Right. No.
You know how many mayors that we from the 90s to 2000s got caught in hotels with strippers with powder cocaine? Did you see an epidemic back in the 80s and 90s of them raiding the suburbs? This ain't race baiting. This is what happened. This ain't me playing a race card. This happened. They were raiding our communities for a substance that comes from a powder form. I'm not giving you a chemistry, but you got to cook it to get into this rock form, and they sold it in our communities. But uncooked, people were snorting it in the rich section. They had stories on soccer moms before the crack epidemic back in the 70s about how they were the real drug heads. And I swear this is not me making it up just to make a point. My point is, during that time, they sent the war drugs out on one half and neglected the other half and didn't do none of it correctly. So going back to your point, when you said they're not going in the suburbs, that's the first thing I thought about.
Right.
Because yes, there's violence in our neighborhoods. I'd be an idiot to say not to.
Right.
We don't see no white collar crimes in the suburbs.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We don't see embezzlement. We don't see fraud. We don't see murder. Right. We don't see school shootings.
Correct.
You think you're going to implore the National Guard on an area in the Appalachian Mountains? I talk about the Appalachian Mountains all the time because people think I don't know geography.
Right.
There's a lot of poor people that don't look like us, and respect to them because I'm not shaming anybody that lives in this Appalachian Mountains. Go look up the history of the Appalachian Mountains because of the poverty of what goes on in those communities.
Right.
Do you think you're going to see the National Guard ship out to the Appalachian Mountains?
Absolutely not.
Nah, right? Let's put the statistics to the side for a minute because that's all people are going to chomp at. This area. Where there's poverty, there will always be crime no matter the race. Where there's poverty, and people don't got jobs, and people don't got health care, and they got to rob their neighbor and do X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be crime no matter the race.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep saying the Appalachian Mountains and people probably not catching it. So when you deploy the National Guard out to Philly, to DC, to Watts, are you going to deploy the National Guard out to a certain area in Kentucky or Ohio or Tennessee? Probably not. So that's just a thought on that topic.
No, I 1,000% agree with you on that. That's most definitely.
You know, we still got some time. I don't want to stay in that too long. I want to go into sports link because we got a couple sports topics that I really want to dive into, man.
Okay. I just want to put a side note in as we go in. Caitlin Clark just announced that she's going to be out for the season, rest of the season, because of her groin.
We just started the sports subject. We just started our sports segment, and you just informed me that Caitlin Clark from the Indiana Fever is done for the season.
Yep.
She really wasn't playing this year at all.
Yeah, ever since that groin, she never was right. Yeah, I think they made her come back earlier, and I think that just made it worse. Like I think had they not pushed it to try to make her come back earlier, it would have been okay. But
so let's stay here for a minute because we're already in the WNBA. And we kind of been out the loop with the WNBA for the first time in 13 years.
Yeah.
Because we've been covering it since 2011.
Correct.
You were filling me in on Angel Reese. What's going on with Angel Reese?
So she recently came out and said something like, if the Chicago Sky don't do something as far as like bringing people that, better players, that she's going to have to go in another direction. I want to say, first off, we do understand that Angel Reese is a young woman. And sometimes maybe being that young, sometimes you don't think before you speak. That's what I do want to start off with. But also my response is, first of all, I don't know what direction you think you're going in, because if you're under contract, you ain't going nowhere. Second of all, the team, I forgot what the team's record was last year, but they didn't make the playoffs. They're in 12th place. They're only about a game or two ahead of Connecticut. They've only won 10 games for the whole season. So meaning in other words...
I started to cut you off. I still don't know why they didn't sign back Kennedy Carter.
And what makes me look at them even more crazier, I want you to put this math in the head. So the Chicago Sky, they have clearly Angel Reese, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got Haley Van Lith, who they drafted this year. They got Camilo Cardoza. Why is it becoming such an issue with all that talent on that team and y'all can't win?
Well, you got to think about it. They had a coach last year. They gave her one shot, 1 year, and got rid of her. And now you have a brand new coach. We've seen this multiple times. I could go back to the Sacramento Kings in the NBA, how DeMarcus Cousins had like 4 coaches in his 6 years. When you have new young talent, they need structure. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take 3 or 4 years for y'all to gain y'all ground. The nucleus is there. When they're running and they're out in that fast break and they're spreading the ball out and she's grabbing the rebound and kicking it to Camilo Cardoza, they are unstoppable. But they need to add some pieces, and it's okay. That's going to take time. Now, to your point, she's young. She's 22, 23. So she's bound to say something like that out of frustration. Not going to hold it against her.
Yeah, she came out and said that she didn't mean to offend any of the players on the team. But it's already too late. You don't already offended the players on the team by making a comment like that. What the hell was you thinking? But like I said, she's young. So I don't know what Cardoza and them, but if I'm a player on the team, I'm looking like you get the ball most of the time. So we only got 10 wins because you're leading the way. And another thing is a side note, not to throw shots, but she talking about, what we ain't going to do is a WNBA collective. Let me explain something to you.
What happened with, I don't know if you're going into that real quick, because we've been out of the loop this the first season. What happened with that CBA talk? Because I'm hearing some crazy stuff.
It's coming, I think, next year. I think after this season.
No, but did you hear the talks? Like the players are saying, we don't want to take the $250,000. That's 4X what y'all are making right now.
Right.
Did you hear that?
No. And this
okay.
This is my thing about what Angel was talking about. See, you can talk like that because you come from NIL and you come from making
outside deals.
And you have outside deals. Because NIL wasn't there when DeWanna Bonner was in the league, and I wasn't there when
Kia Vaughn.
And all them was there. Tina Charles, these girls, these women, this wasn't on there. You are benefiting off of that. They are not. You're not thinking about them. That's what you're not doing. So you got them all pumped up, ready to go on strike. I can tell you now. And Rob Parker, who has a show on Fox Sports Network, a radio show, he was saying, he's like, I dare them to hold out. Watch what happens.
I say this. Again, people could look at our track record. Mm-hmm. We've been covering the WNBA since 2011. We're not the new guys on the block. Mm-hmm. So this take isn't coming from ignorance.
Yeah.
I understand the players that have built the league, mm-hmm. that have been battling for years for mm-hmm. higher pay, and I agree with them. Hearing some of the players, because I know all of them don't agree, mm-hmm. scoff at the salaries being raised to $250,000 minimum, when just a few years ago the average salary was $50,000.
Jesus.
Like that's just like me hypothetically right now in corporate America making 60 at a job, and they say, well, next year the union is coming in with a new deal, and now y'all all starting at 100,000, and I say, 100,000, what's that? You was just at 50, 60,000, and now you about to make 100.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel like, well, let's come up with a negotiation tactic. But to your point, I hope you're thinking about those players who are not as privileged as you.
Right.
Because $250,000 to a certain player that's not getting playing time, mm-hmm. that has to go across seas, because mm-hmm. they talk about that to really get their money, that maybe this is a way for me to stay home 9 months out of the year, so I don't have to go to Russia. So I don't have to sit in Turkey and China to make money. Now I can sit home with my family for 6 months.
Right.
I hope some of y'all are thinking about those players. Mm-hmm. Because if y'all hold out and mess up the deal and they say, all right, we ain't going to do 250, we going to hold out for a season. Then when y'all come back, we going to do 120,000. There's going to be some heads rolling.
Yep.
I'm not saying take the first thing. I'm not saying don't put on your poker face. I understand the art of negotiation.
Right.
I understand sometimes you got to call people's bluff.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a crazy thing to scoff at.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. I get it. I just, for as far as that deal, that's insanity. So I think if 250,000 is a golden take it, if there's more money to be had, but let me say something. The NBA is still losing money. Like support, and they're expanding these teams. So it just, I think if they open the books, I think it's gonna, because that's what happens usually when a strike. So, I mean, there are some fishy stuff on the NBA side that doesn't look.
We're gonna talk about that,
which we I won't get into right now. But let me make it clear.
Give us 10 minutes. We'll get there.
Let me make it clear. If they are offering a max of 250,000 for now, I would take it. But this would be a short agreement. Meaning, like, we're going to take this now, but we going to come back at this table in like another 3 or 4 years. We ain't doing this. No 10-year deal with you. It's going to be another 3 or 4 years, and then we're going to revisit it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I that's what I would do if I was them. But this, we need to get paid like the NBA players. Are you kidding me? You don't even play the majority of games the NBA players do. They play 82 games. You only play 40. Maybe a little bit more over 40. What are you talking about? You want the same money they get for playing half the games they play? You got to be kidding me. Ain't nobody paying no 10-year, $100 million deal to no WNBA player right now. And you ain't even producing like the whole. And I'm not. That's not me throwing shots, because I think it needs to happen one day. But let's take one step at a time here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's gonna take time. I think Caitlin Clark helps elevate the game. I think
there's some players coming too.
Yeah, it's going to take time. And when they do, they're going to elevate the game to another level. Next thing you know, you'll have those deals that 5-year, $50 million, or maybe 3 years, 90, or 3 years, $24 million. You're going to get there. It's just going to take time. But it ain't going to be on your timeline. You get what I'm saying? So I think they need to realize and understand that. I mean, 250 compared, like what you said, only getting paid $50,000.
Well, that was a couple years
back, ago.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is now we're talking about 250,000. So if it gets past that, like I said, you just work at it, but you keep the deal short. You know what I mean? Like we revisiting this another few years. We ain't doing no double-digit agreement. Like you gonna come back and do this. And remember, they're expanding with teams because Toronto, Portland, somebody else I'm missing here, Philly. Somebody else is coming, and depending on the way this Connecticut Sun deal is going, because there's a lot of things I'm hearing about that in the background. We might have
a podcast. That's another topic for a podcast.
There might be another franchise coming, depending on if they let this deal go through. So we'll talk about that. That's another conversation for another day. But to circle back around, Angel Reese made those comments. I think that was a wrong comment to make. I get her frustration. But at the same time, and I'm not going to say no names because there was players that weren't too happy about her when she came into the league, and they felt like it was a show. Like we don't want to deal with this show. That I know that for a fact. So but whatever.
So let's jump over to the next topic. We're still within sports. Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
See, we were supposed to talk about this last month, but had went on hiatus. I was in Disney, but
yeah.
Let's briefly talk about the Shedeur Sanders situation with the Cleveland Browns. What we saw in the preseason and how it's leading up to right now. You go lead.
Yeah, because I really want to go in on this one. He basically, okay, so they were all waiting to see how he was going to perform and play. Long story short, the first game he played with the starters. And he excelled very well and played very well. He scored he threw for 2 touchdowns.
No interceptions.
The next game, Dylan Gabriel was in there, but he played with the starters. When Shedeur Sanders came in here, he played with the offensive line, and they were cut. The whole offensive line got cut. But he was playing with second or third stringers, if even that. And he didn't look that well. So a lot of people were concerned because they were like, oh, they think he's going to get cut. Also, the coach, because he didn't let him run the 2-minute warning. So the coach, anybody knows in the game going down towards halftime, or not halftime, maybe third or fourth quarter, I'm sorry, whenever it was, he wanted to come back in the game. And the coach said, no, I'm not going to let you come back in the game. You know what I mean? Because he felt I guess he felt he had seen enough. But when Shedeur was playing with the starters, he was on point. When they put him in there with backups, he didn't look great.
Forget backups. People that got cut. I want Dylan for the offensive line got cut.
Right. And Dylan Gabriel, who played better, was playing with the starters. So of course he looked good. So I guess the point I'm making is
he's the backup quarterback.
Now mind you, where I'm gonna put it all in perspective. Now mind you, during this whole situation, the week before, the owner comes out on whatever platform he came out was and said that the GM and them said we're gonna draft Shedeur Sanders, and owner was like, no, that's not gonna happen. He made that comment, which was insanity. I have never in my life, in all the years and the craziness I've seen from owners, including Jerry Jones, has never publicly came out and said something like that to the effect of a player. How do you think that makes the player feel? Why would you say something like that? That's not happening because we don't want that there. After what you did to get Deshaun Watson and what he had on his back claim.
Oh boy.
What he had on his paperwork. And I'm a big
200 and you backed him.
And I backed him. But how dare you sit there and say we don't want that here? Oh, you don't want a guy that went into the mid-majors. So let me go here and let me make the comparison because I don't want to sound like I'm ranting everywhere. Cam Ward, who played in Miami, came from Incarnate Word, which is way, it's not low level, but it's not the same as playing in Miami. Let's just say that, right? Mm-hmm. He transferred. He did well in Incarnate Word, transferred to Miami, outperformed the Albany QB, who I think was in the running for starting.
Reese Poffenberger,
and started and did very well. And he's the number 1 pick in Tennessee because they loved his maturity, where he came from. Shedeur Sanders went to HBCU, which is not the popular thing, to a school that was not good. And in his first year, had him at 5-6. The second year, he had him in the championship game, the Celebration Bowl. The third year, he got him to the Celebration Bowl. The fourth year, he went into Colorado, did what they had a 3-8 season, and then the following season, he had him in an 8-3 record and had him in the bowl, right? He turned it around. That was a team that only had one win this prior season. So everywhere this kid goes, he turns it around. Now, let me go here with a side note. This is the one I've really been itching to do, and I'm going to call it out. Boomer Esiason. I hope this is a clip. I hope this comes out as a meme and everything. Particularly with Boomer Esiason, who underachieved.
Who's he real quick? I'm sorry.
He's a former NFL quarterback that played for the Cincinnati Bengals and New York Jets, whoever the hell else took his underachieving ass. What I'm saying about him, how dare you talk about, he said, you know what? I saw Shedeur Sanders at the podium talking about if you want a quarterback that's going to turn your franchise around with the big chain and everything. He's like, I saw that. And I was like, I don't want that guy in my locker room. I'm sorry. Who wanted your underachieving ass in the locker room? What Super Bowls did you win again? I'm sorry, please help me, because his father won 3. How many did you win? What franchise quarterback were you? Please explain to me. But the sad part is, a clown like him is in those offices, and they think like that. So what I'm saying about Boomer Esiason's underachieving ass, he should shut up and talk about he don't want a guy like that, because a guy like that didn't get the opportunities you got, and yet somehow turned around teams, college teams that nobody would have went and played for. Do you think for 1 second with Shedeur Sanders' talent, 1 second for Shedeur Sanders' talent, do you think would go to Jackson State? Who the hell would do that? Into a Jackson State team that wasn't even that good, and took him to Celebration Bowls. And because of his play, and yes, his father, but because of his play and what he was doing, what he brought to the table, he inspired a lot of HBCU players, a lot of the players to go to HBCU schools. Not only did he do that, he went to a Colorado school that only had 1 win season before, went in there, won 3 games, which ain't that great, but it's better than the year before, then went and took him to he turned the school around. That's 2 schools. I want that kid in my locker room, in my pit hole every day, every chance I get. I will draft that kid, because I saw a lot of those guys that's going to get drafted. Jackson Dart better win a Super Bowl. Whoever else was in there, Cam Ward, even though I like him too, he better win a Super Bowl. All these guys better win a Super Bowl. You think Dylan Gabriel's going to take you to the promised land? You think Joe Flacco's going to take you to the promised land? They have not done not near of what a sample of what Shedeur Sanders has done. And yet, still, Boomer Esiason's underachieving ass sits there and says, I don't want that guy in my locker room. Nobody wanted your underachieving ass neither. What did you do for the Jets? Nothing. What did you do for Cincinnati? Nothing. You still ain't got no rings. So all you do is sit on TV with your underachieving nerdy ass talking about what you don't want in the locker. You don't want that kid in the locker room. I want that kid in my locker room all day. Because you know what? His father knows how to win Super Bowls. Something you never did. That's why.
That's motherfucking bars.
I don't want to hear anything from an underachieving, non-Super Bowl winning quarterback that has never even. I think he did go to Super Bowl. I'm sorry. He didn't win, though. Deion don't know nothing about that because he's undefeated in Super Bowls.
Talk to him.
So let's leave it there. I want that kid in my locker room all day. You can't talk to me unless you Tom Brady. That dude don't know what he's talking about. He's a clown, and nobody should listen to him, period. He has no clue what he's talking about. I don't care what he feels about it. I hope that comes out as a meme. I hope he sees it. I hope his family sees it. I hope all his little cohorts or whoever feels the way sees it. Whoever's backing this crap that they don't want this kid because he's confident. And let's be honest, the underline is he's a young black kid that's confident and doesn't want to say, well, you know, I just hope I get the opportunity and I hope I make it one day and we can just get to the NFL and we can just achieve things. Everybody ain't Peyton Manning. Everybody ain't.
What about Arch Manning?
Who cares, man? He was 0-16. Nobody don't want to hear about that. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
I'm talking about the kid.
Oh, Archie, the one that
yeah.
Oh, in Texas?
You missed that one.
Oh, yeah, with the map. Yeah. Well, but you hear what I'm saying, though? Yeah. They're already going to draft Archie Manning. But because he's gonna portray it. But let's just call it what it is. And I'm sorry I'm taking off some time. But it really infuriated me that he got on that podium on his platform and said, I don't want a kid like that in my locker room. And mind you, let me give the whole jewel about this. Wasn't his father fighting cancer? Could you imagine seeing that? What class do you have, man? You're a clown for that. His father's fighting cancer that nobody knew about. And that's what you're saying about his son? It is insane that the class, and let me say something, they say, oh, he's arrogant and cocky. The class that this kid and his family has, because nobody ever said anything. They didn't say my father's fighting cancer. He never came out. They just focused. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you else something about with Shiloh. I'll take him too, because he'll knock the block off. He's like a Ryan Clark. Mm-hmm. Don't come across the middle. You're gonna get this smoke. So whoever is against it and they want to cut him because they think that they're gonna do better, good luck. Cleveland ain't gonna never win a Super Bowl. They cut Shedeur Sanders. Good luck with Dalen Gabriel, who I'm sure is a very fine quarterback, but I didn't know about him until the Shedeur Sanders hype came in. I didn't know nothing about that kid.
Wasn't that the guy that said something in college to Shedeur on that one game?
No, that was another guy. Okay. But
my fault.
Shedeur, like Shedeur, they just don't want him to succeed. And let's just be honest. But I'll take him any day. I'll take him any day. I'm sorry. What is Kyler Murray doing in Arizona?
I forgot. Shouldn't he took that baseball contract, Azar?
Yeah, because he's doing great in there. What is it? What is Atlanta doing? They got Michael Penix now. Because they gave Kirk what's his name?
Don't
all
get
that money
on your Atlanta.
They still trying to figure out what's going on with Caleb Williams. Daniel Jones just got a job.
Don't get started on my Steelers.
And look what he did.
Don't get started on my Steelers.
Justin Fields, we'll see that too.
Boy.
Everybody felt like those other guys were great, which they're all great quarterbacks in the right system. But that kid showed why you should draft him number one. Y'all just didn't like the arrogance. And to be honest with you, another element of this, just one more thing I want to say. What it is let's be honest. If you got Shedeur in there and he's doing his thing, just imagine you trying to lure his father over there. Maybe the coaches are scared. Maybe that's what it is. I don't want to lose my job. I just don't know. But that Boomer Esiason thing was bothering me. You don't want a guy like that in your locker room. You can shut your underachieving ass up.
Real quick, isn't it business in football pitting seats in the stands and selling tickets?
Yes. Jerry Jones does it every year. Because he know he ain't going to win no Super Bowl. Not with that roster you got right now.
You know, trading who they traded. You got 2 minutes for that?
Oh, Micah Parsons?
Yeah.
That was Jerry Jones' ego. Because any normal GM or owner or anything, the talent of Micah Parsons, I'm sorry, he would normally get you like 3 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks or even a second and third-round pick and a good player, a better player. I'm not saying that the player, I forgot his name, that they got the defensive tackle from Green Bay. Not to say he's not a good player, but he's not up to the relevancy of Micah Parsons. You could have got way more, and you probably could have did way more things building a defensive line if you knew you wasn't going to sign Parsons. Your ego told you were. And when it became, where everybody talks about it, where Micah was talking to him, and then all of a sudden, when it came down to the nitty gritty, he was like, no, you got to solidify that with my agent. It became Jerry Jones's ego. So I hope I get a little bit of where Jones is coming from. I hope it works, because you're getting to a stage in life where this is not gonna pan out well. And you don't want to be eating crow at this stage. So this better work. At least, because remember, Dallas didn't even make the playoffs last year. So, is this going to take you a step closer to it?
No.
I don't know.
We got a few minutes. We got 12 minutes, and I think this is the most important sports topic. Now, there's a lot to talk about that we'll cover on another podcast. But what just came out about the Clippers? I think
Lord.
This is the biggest thing in sports. For context, news came out about the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, doing some backhand deal with Kawhi Leonard, who pretty much underachieved. That we think he was going to win a championship, pie in the sky, but we thought we was going to see some bare minimum deep playoff runs.
When he first got there.
Bare minimum, we saw deep playoff runs. The last 5 years or 6 years have been underachievement, him being injured, him playing 40 games, barely 50 games, so forth. So the news comes out that somebody blew the whistle that there was a backhanded deal to avoid the cap. And Steve Ballmer put 28, they're reporting anywhere from $28 to $50 million paid to a hidden LLC owned by who?
Kawhi Leonard.
Allegedly, so I don't get sued. Allegedly, Kawhi Leonard owned this LLC.
That's crazy.
And he got paid to do nothing. You're already not playing in the game. You're already missing 30 games here, 40 games here, not playing. How did this happen? Who blew the whistle? And what does this do for sports? Here's some context amongst a lot of y'all players who are getting caught sports betting. That's the backdrop to this. Man. See, people thought it was just that. No, a lot of players are getting caught up in this sports betting scheme, and we seen y'all shave points taken away from the game while y'all asking for all this money in the collective bargaining agreement. That's me getting passionate because I'm the basketball guy.
Right. Facts.
I talk about this shit all the time. I said it when the last year at the championship when the Celtics won, when I was listening to the commentators, I said it sounded like y'all in them with the sports betting because there was no way y'all saw that the Dallas starters were better than the Celtics starters. That's to the side note. But with all this sports betting going on, now you have to worry about players taking underhanded deals from owners to go to certain franchises. What are your thoughts? I got more to say on this, but what are your thoughts about that and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers?
I think Kawhi Leonard, I want to say ever since he won that title in Toronto, he's done banked. He's done banked money. Like, and all of a sudden he can't play. I've never seen a guy that he misses so many games. Why is this guy? How long? Because I think they're in a solid ironclad contract. I think he couldn't get out of it. Yeah, I don't think Ballmer can get out of it.
But here's the, sorry to cut you off. Here's the other backdrop. They were saying before he went to the Clippers, there was a chance that he was really supposed to go to the Lakers with LeBron.
Really?
But the way his agent, which was his uncle, finagled that deal. Like how can you so just think about the implications. What would have happened if Kawhi, 4 years younger, would have went to LeBron? How would that look over there?
That'll look crazy. That'll look crazy. I think AD came over. Yeah, AD came too. Jesus.
So you seen where this is going now, but go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it would have been dope. But the thing is, the sad part is with Kawhi, I don't have no mercy. Like, you getting all these millions of dollars
to underperform.
What is you doing?
Let me say this, because people might think I'm being too harsh.
And he plays like the last part of the season.
Let me say this, because people might think I'm too harsh. Injuries are part of the game, and I hate to see when a great player get injured. He ain't the first one. Penny Hardaway was supposed to be way better. Go back and look at Penny's averages his first 2 years. Penny Hardaway was supposed to be that guy before injuries took him a step down.
Yeah.
Grant Hill. We all know about Grant Hill.
Yep.
There was videos of him doing Jordan and Pippen dirty.
Yeah.
Before injuries took him. Antonio McDyess. There's a lot of players we can name. Derrick Rose. My God. Yeah, I hate to say this because I don't want people to think I'm being not sensitive to an injured player. But if you're taken away from the game in that capacity, you have to have a heart-to-heart to yourself and say, can I play, or is it time for me to head to early retirement?
Right.
Or at least not be the focal point of the team, because Derrick Rose,
No. Go ahead.
Derrick Rose, when it was that point, he knew he was the backup player. He knew he wasn't the focal point. Yo, you got to give me $40 million for me to come over here.
Yeah.
But that's what Kawhi is doing. Because he re-upped on that contract, I believe, 2 years ago and got that money, knowing you wasn't playing in the first half of the contract. So when you extended the contract, what was you going to play?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And the player, no, I was piggybacking off what you said. The players that you named, when those guys got hurt or when they was missing games, nobody ever questioned it. Just because of the way, the commitment. You saw it, man. You you know what I mean? So it's like you said, when they knew, they knew. You know what I mean? You saw it. Those guys, I never questioned McDyess. I never questioned Grant Hill. I never questioned Penny Hardaway's commitment. I never questioned that. When they got hurt and when they couldn't play and they were missing games, I never questioned it. I don't think they were just like horrible players or pulling the stunts that Kawhi was playing. I never questioned that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's just the integrity of the game. Like I said, this is on the backdrop of us seeing multiple players get hit with these sports betting situations. Now you have to wonder about, because you know what they said, right? Yeah. Now they're going to have to look at why old boy took a pay cut for the Knicks.
Who took the pay cut?
the point guard.
Oh, my God, why is his name not hitting me? Yeah, oh my God.
Pardon us.
Yeah,
having a brain lapse.
I know exactly. It's right, Brunson.
Yeah, they starting to say now. Why did Jalen Brunson take that big of a pay cut? Is there some underground LLC deal where they're funneling an LLC $50 million on the back end?
Yeah, I wonder if this opens up.
This opens up a can of worms.
Yeah.
But now, if you're the commissioner, what do? Because the punishment got to be severe.
Yeah, gotta be swift.
This is groundbreaking. We didn't hear about this. Not saying it didn't happen, but we didn't hear about this in the 2010s.
No.
The early 2000s. Could you imagine if Kobe said, "Yo, I'll stay at the Lakers, but you got to fund this hidden LLC $100 million, or I'm going to the Spurs."
Right.
All hell would have broke loose. You saw what they did when he was trying to get Chris Paul.
Yeah,
they vetoed that trade.
Yeah, because they didn't want them to.
They knew what that was going to be.
That was in championship. Yeah,
multiple.
Yeah, and they vetoed it. That was crazy.
So you got this player who has been injury prone since he won in Toronto, and he was already going on the backside of his prime. Pull this stunt. Look at the viewership. They already talking about viewership is going down. Look at how y'all treat the All-Star game. This is all together.
Yeah,
I'm not just picking on one incident. The viewership. The fans complaining about the All-Star game being trash because it's been the last few years.
Yeah.
Players getting indicted on sports betting. The overall product is bad, and now you have somebody who's going to be in a Hall of Fame. This ain't a bench player doing this, dog. This is somebody, when he's healthy, they have him in top 10 conversations.
Right.
Pulling the most unethical stunt in sports that I've seen probably since, what's the dude named Pete, the baseball player?
Pete Rose.
Probably since Pete Rose. Do you force him to retire now? Like, what do you, if you're the commissioner, what do you do?
Well, he's going to get suspended. Kawhi Leonard is going to get suspended probably for the year. He can't even play for the year. And it's got to be a fine. And I mean real fine.
What do you do to the organization? We talking draft. Yo.
Draft picks have to be taken.
We suspending draft picks.
Kawhi Leonard can't
play make for certain trades.
Yeah. I don't want to say like a death blow like SMU, but it's going to be close to it. You darn near
have to.
Yeah.
Because you have to make a point as a commissioner with all things that's happening before the next CBA comes out, because y'all going to want your money then, right?
Yeah.
Was it 2028?
Yeah.
In 3 years?
Yeah.
They're going to want to renegotiate, right? But this is what you've been talking about it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Y'all been showing y'all rotten behinds, spoiled brats. And I'm all for players getting their money, but y'all been showing y'all behinds. What do you think is going to happen in 2028 when the commissioner rolls back the tape? Oh yeah. Y'all want us to up the money because the TV deal? How many? Y'all can't play 60 games?
Look at Zion. He's a perfect example of that. Perfect example of that. At least with Luka being out of shape, at least you can never question him playing. Zion's been, ever since he got his money, he done showed his ass ridiculously. And that's going to hurt him. What they don't understand is
hurt them on the back end.
Back end. Endorsements, TV, nobody wants. I don't, why would I listen to anything you telling me? You a slacker / quitter. I ain't listening to you, man. That's why, as much as with Barkley and Shaq and all them being on the TNT and all that, the sportscast, whatever, you listen to them, even if you don't agree with what they're saying, because they've been there. We saw it with our own eyes, the effort they gave. They need to go back and go talk to Barkley. When he was talking about, I remember one time he was talking about, he's like, yo, I remember the NBA used to play, we used to be on TV like once a week, if even that. And I remember that as a kid. You didn't really see anything until like the finals, the NBA finals, and maybe the Eastern and West Coast finals. Otherwise than that, you never saw the Knicks. They were on pay-per-view. MSG wasn't what it is now.
You had to have certain cable package.
So it was really bad. So the point I'm making is that Barkley and them were coming in on the back end of everything that all the work they put in. And Jordan said it himself. He said they kind of all, owners and the players were together. The owner players was like, yo, we're going to put this Illmatic product on the court. Y'all just take care of the business thing. We know we'll get the money in the back end. Whereas now the players was like, nah, we want our
Just
money.
play us and we'll play when we feel like it.
Yeah. Which if things go down, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt, and then they're gonna be complaining. And that's why the NFL owners, when they saw that, is oh no, we not giving up no ground. We not dealing with this.
So that completes the podcast, man. We hit 2 hours.
Yep.
Talked about a lot.
Talked about Boomer Esiason's underachieving ass popping off about a young black quarterback that he felt was confident. Underachieving son of a. Anyway, go ahead.
Shoot. But we didn't talk more than Young Thug. That we didn't do.
Yeah.
But
super fake gangster. Yeah.
As I always say, whether it's one person following us or 100 people, we appreciate all support. Facts. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to come up in the fourth quarter. Full court pressing.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about.
Shout out to my man Spoder with that full court pressing. Got a lot of stuff coming up, some interviews. Going to be a little more consistent this fourth quarter.
Sir.
So everybody tuned in, whether it's one person or 100 people, appreciate your support. Get tuned into the Enveonline Podcast. Signing off from your host, Son of a Jones.
It's partner Azar Johnson.